everyone. Welcome back to this edition of What's Happening Now with C-Now Solutions. As always, remember to like, share, and comment on this broadcast live. As always, useful information not only to yourself, but to perhaps a family or a friend. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by Hair Queen. Hair Queen's mission goes beyond just selling beauty products. It's about empowering women and uplifting our community. They believe in every woman should feel beautiful and in their own skin. Like this, Hair Queen does a lot of great things. They're going to be moving here in Huntsville to a bigger space. I think they got like a 30,000 square foot space they're going to be moving to. I think that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that grand opening. We'll be down there to celebrate that grand opening with them. Some of the things we got going on with C-Now Solutions, we started our Oakwood University entrepreneur class. It is going great. The students are doing good. We're excited about it. We got a lot of great information coming out for them and a lot of great guest speakers who's going to be coming through C-Now Solutions to actually talk to those students so they can have a better understanding of what it's like to start their own business. All right. Also coming up, we're gonna have another financial literacy class coming up here in a couple of weeks. I'll have the date for y'all real soon. This one we're trying to target a little bit older students, if we can, more of the high school students. But we always love those middle school students just the same. All right. So tonight, got some special guests in here in the studio with us tonight. We have JLD Publishing with Mr. J and Miss Denise Myhand. Jay, Denise, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit, what is JLD? What is that?
So JLD Publishing, well, I guess let me tell the story behind JLD.
Okay.
Jay loves Denise.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
JLD Publishing Incorporated. And we started out actually under one of our brands, and it kind of grew where we was like, we needed something bigger. But it started as a pandemic project. And I'll let Denise take it from there.
So I think during the pandemic, like a lot of people, I had a lot more free time on my hands because I wasn't going to church or hanging out with my friends as much. I was mostly at home or, at the house. So I started looking for something for me to do, a hobby, or, just something productive for myself. So I wouldn't snack myself to death. But I started doing some research, and I looked into what it take to publish a book and maybe what kind of book I would want to publish. Mm-hmm. And we started making word search books during that time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's so funny you talk about the pandemic. The pandemic seemed to bring out the best in everyone at that time. C-Now Solutions actually started during the pandemic, but we did it based off of the lack of knowledge we saw a lot of our community doing when they started making those side hustles to try to get some money coming mm-hmm. in. We wanted to show them how to do it the right way. So you started during the pandemic. You was at home, stay at home, remote working, and how did where did you come up with the idea of the particular style of books y'all are writing?
I knew I did not want to write a traditional book. I had looked at some different types of book, maybe like low content, different puzzle books, mm-hmm. maybe even a coloring book. I just wanted to create something, and I thought I kind of landed on the word search books because I thought it still gave me the element of storytelling, right? And it still gave me an opportunity to amplify my culture. So I kind of zoned in on the word search books, and they've been a hit. And so we've been doing those for a couple of years now.
Okay. So, Jay, talking earlier, you guys aren't just selling books from your website. Y'all guys are in Amazon, a couple other places, and you mentioned some places locally in stores here and in Texas. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes. So, we thought about, we always looking for new sales channels mm-hmm. so that we can, get revenue from different places. If one sales channel, because, social media and Facebook, if that goes away, how do we get sales?
Right.
So we want to make sure we're getting them from different points. But our research books have been in Brown Books and More in Decatur, at Homecoming Books at the Civil Rights Institute in Birmingham, the Doc Bookshop in Dallas. And in addition to that, our website, soamazingblackculture.com, and on Amazon, if you search So Amazing Black Culture, the word search books will pop up there.
Okay, all right. So both of you guys are both writing books. Do y'all tag team one particular book, or do you say, well, you know what, I'm going to do a word search one this go around, and you say I'm going to do my one of the novels, or how does that work? Being in a house full of writers and artists, I mean, how do y'all figure that out?
I would say, I think I'm probably more of the theme creator and then the researcher.
Okay.
Right? And then I think Jay comes in and I hand it off to him and he does the editing and the critiquing and the formatting and publishing.
Okay, so you're basically y'all tag team one book together,
Yes.
and you're the QA of the book, and you're the production of the book.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I like that. So you brought a couple books in here tonight, and I love this color, Standing on Business. I don't know if y'all can all see that. The light might be reflecting it, but it's a nice book. So talk to me about this. How did you come up with this? Where did this inspiration come from?
Like all our products, or a majority of our products, they're all Black centric. So they just come from our lived experience,
Okay.
Things that we hear and we see and we do as Black people on a regular basis. I think if you run across any Black person in this day and age and you say, I'm standing on business,
right,
you got to understand it going on right there, right? And when we were thinking about creating journals, specifically for the new year, because we want to encourage people to meditate and journal more in a place and have a safe space to put out their thoughts and ideas. We were thinking about themes and phrases that would support that. And so Standing on Business was most definitely one of those.
So Jay, let me ask you this, and I'm sure Denise is probably more apt to be able to answer this question. How important is it to you guys to focus on Black culture with your books?
It's very important to us. I think one of the things that we identify, other people like to create a narrative about us.
Right.
And we have to take our power back.
Okay.
And through these word search books, we're able to celebrate the coolness, the creativity, the heart, soul, and achievements of Black culture.
Yeah.
And that's literally our theme and our mission. And we were able to create different topics, identify people that we wanted to celebrate, identify things and entities that we wanted to celebrate. And literally with our word search books, it's not like, some of the books that you can go and get from the corner store where you just literally looking for dog, cat, tree. Our word search books are not that. Literally, you have a theme at the top, and as you go through and you're looking for the words in the puzzle, it's telling the story. Right. And so it's definitely a different experience when you do our word search books versus some of the others that are out there.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that. I like that. We do a lot of community service work at the Bob Harrison Center for the senior citizens, and a lot of things that they love to have is these word search books.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, when I say they love them, they love them. That is outstanding. That is outstanding. So in total, y'all starting since 2020, right? How many books have y'all written since 2020?
So I know we have 6 in the So Amazing Black Culture series, and then an additional 3 or 4 outside of that. And then we have our series of journals as well.
Okay. Coming from someone who doesn't write books, I've been told, Charles, you need to write a book. You need to tell your story.
Yes.
Now, like this, I've been told that several times. How long does it take to get a book going from start to finish?
For me, it doesn't take a long time, depending on the level of motivation or inspiration that I have.
Okay.
Based off the topic. Once I hone in on my topic and I start figuring out my different themes, a lot of it is a couple of weeks for me to do my part, and then a couple of weeks for Jay to do his part.
All right. So you guys did not go to school to be journalists, you didn't go to school to work on African heritage. You guys self-taught yourself how to start doing books. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So what was that like? I mean, did you feel like you're on an island by yourself, or was there a lot of lessons learned? How was that?
I think I'm a lifelong learner, so, and I think Jay is as well.
Mhm.
It was exciting for me, and I think with technology, I feel like there's nothing that I can't do. I call myself a tech entrepreneur because I use technology. I'm not a technical person per se, but I know that there's an app or there
Mhm.
is a website that can help me facilitate what I need to get done. Right.
Okay.
So that's, to me, I think I can learn anything.
So I know there's some viewers out there watching, and those who are watching, there's a lot of them out there saying, you know what, I need to tell my story, whether it be because I've had trauma, family childhood trauma, whether they've been through some type of crisis, they want to tell their story. How would someone who's never, done this, have these tangible pieces in my hand that y'all have made? How would they get started? What would you suggest to them?
Well, I would tell them to just do some research on self-publishing. Literally, you can Google self-publishing, or you can use a AI tool like ChatGPT and just type in self-publish, and it will give you, different options that exist, different companies you can self-publish through. And then once you identify the different companies that are out there that you can self-publish through, what are the pros and cons of each one of those platforms? Because all of them do things a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
So based on your particular situation, what's going to work best for you? And ultimately, what is your goal? Do you want to just tell your story, or are you trying to make some money from it? Because some platforms are more profitable than others. Once you identify what your ultimate goal is and the company that you want to move forward with, you will want to learn how to format your books, how to get everything uploaded, what the expenses are for the amount of body that's going to be in your book. So that way you have an understanding of what investment you need going into the process. With some platforms, you don't really need much investment up front. Other platforms, you do need more investment up front. So again, those are all things that you'll want to research as you are, going through the process. And it's always good if you have a mentor, somebody who's done it before. So take a look at your social network, see who's willing to help you out. It may be a situation where you need to seek some paid assistance to get it done. But definitely, between research, mentorship opportunities, accessing your social network, you can definitely make it happen if you want to create a book.
Okay, so one of the things that I found interesting, and speaking with y'all earlier, and Denise, you kind of brought it up, for you guys, this was almost like a little to no cost startup to get it going. Can you explain that?
So we did everything with, we already had computers and internet and cell phone service at the house. That's where we did most of our research. Then once we got I think we used Canva to design the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got everything formatted and uploaded to KDP. And then they can put everything together for you and publish it to Amazon with no cost to you up front, right? So now you can have a book completely out there on Amazon to sell to other people, and it hadn't cost you a penny, right?
Yeah.
So it was a no cost startup at all.
Okay, so let's use Charles here, and let's say, Charles, you know what? I'm ready to write my book, America. I'm ready to tell my story. Is it going to be about Charles got to get out his notepad and pen? It started in April of 2020, or such and such, or is there like a program to where I'm basically talking, or do I come to somebody and say, hey, I'm ready to write my book, and they sit down and they're typing out what I'm talking? How does that work?
Well, I think all of those options are available out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to write it, if you want somebody else to write it, if you want to use some kind of AI tool to help you write it, all of those options exist. It just depends on the route that you decide to take.
Okay. So in your professional expert opinion,
okay,
and you see it all the time, is there real value in an individual like me telling my story, writing my autobiography? Is there real value in that? Do you see a lot of autobiographies really taking off, or do you see more people who write books about other things taking off?
I think it's room for all of it.
Yeah.
I think everybody has their own individual perspective or view or slice of life.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one Charles, right?
That's right. And you got that, boy, she hit that, boy. I tell you what, you got to keep her here, boy. You got to keep her right here. Yes, sir.
And there's only one Charles that has had your experiences, and the world needs to see that, because nobody else is going to do it like you do it, right? So I think everybody has something special about them that needs to be presented to the world.
Okay.
And then, like the thing I always point out, ultimately, what is your goal? Are you looking to make money, or do you want to tell your story, or both?
Right.
And because this type of story that you're telling, who your audience is going to be, or the audience that you're aiming to get, all of those things come into place. But ultimately, what is your goal? And I think once you identify your goal, then you can say, okay, this is going to help position me to meet that goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. So, in the realm of publishing and dealing with books, for someone who is not the avid reader, right? How do you, and again, this is a gorgeous cover. How do you get this in front of someone like a Charles? Where do you find Charles at to show him this? Say, hey, this is something that you really need to open up and take a look at. How do you do that?
So we do a lot of different, as Jay mentioned, we have a lot of different sales channels. We do a lot of vendor events, and we travel. We enjoy traveling. So we do the Southeast. So we'll do Nashville, Birmingham, Atlanta, Memphis, Montgomery. We do a lot of vendor events throughout the area. So you get to meet people face to face where they are, mm-hmm. and show them your products. And we also do advertising through social media, and we also work with content creators. So we have a lot of different ways of getting our products out there for the world to see. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what were some of the obstacles you guys came across? What were some of those challenges that y'all had to deal with?
So it's always a knowledge gap.
Yes.
So once you identify the knowledge gap, then you acquire the knowledge. And sometimes it's, you don't know what you don't know until you know you don't know it.
Right. Right.
And so like with running ads, we had to figure out how to set up ads. Ultimately, I reached out to one of the local people here that does ads, and they help out with websites and whatnot. And she walked me through getting things set up, and we were able to get our social media ads running on Facebook and Instagram. Once we were able to get that going, literally, because traffic equals sales.
Right.
And so once you start getting traffic to the website, then people are able to start seeing, what the products that you have. Then it kind of takes off. The Facebook pixel helps with the targeting and retargeting and getting stuff back in front of people again. But it just comes to, it's always a knowledge game and building knowledge.
So let me ask you this, and I'm glad you mentioned that. You talked about always working in Facebook ads and all that. Earlier we talked about your day in a life. Mm-hmm. All right, and for those who might be interested in writing books and selling books, give them example what your day in a life is like in selling your books and packaging and what you have to deal with, on a daily basis.
Okay. So we both have our 8 to 5s. So that's there. Since we get sales on a regular basis, either first thing in the morning or right before I go to bed, one of the things that I'm doing is fulfilling orders. So literally getting the books packaged up or getting our art packaged up so it can ship out to customers. In the evenings, Denise will dedicate time. If she's working on a new book, she's working with getting it put together. Once she's finished with her part, she hands it off to me so I can do the formatting and get it to a point where it can be uploaded to KDP or if it's art, getting that to a final phase. So yeah, it's embedded in our lives. And I think we were talking earlier, we have to be intentful with turning the business off,
Yes.
because otherwise it consumes everything. And so if we want to make time for ourselves and our marriage and just
And vacation.
and whatnot, we have to be intentful to separate it. Otherwise, it's always on, because it's literally, we'll be out eating, and the next thing we know, we're in the middle of a business discussion.
Right.
It's like, how do we keep getting here?
That's that entrepreneurial mindset. Hey, folks, those who are watching, if you know someone who's interested in getting their book or writing their book or telling their story, please take time to share this broadcast live with them so they can get some of this great, valuable information that Jay and Denise are here offering us tonight. And I tell you what, I'm learning a whole lot here right now from just talking with them about writing a book. And maybe one day soon you're going to see that story come out, with Charles Fry on it. All right. So what does your support system look like? How is family supporting y'all when y'all said, hey, we're going to start writing books? And did someone say, Denise, doggone well, you can't write no books, girl. You need to hang that up. Keep your 9 to 5. What was that like?
I think my mother was like, that's cute, She's very supportive. But I think the road I'm traveling, she just hasn't seen it before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she, like I said, she is supportive, and my brothers and my sister are supportive, and my friends are supportive too. I really appreciate all the love and support, but my biggest cheerleader is always my husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Jay, what about you? What type of backlash was you getting saying you're about to start writing books and stuff? What was that like?
You have people. Well, I guess most of the people that know me know I'm always trying something different outside of the box. Right. So they're not surprised at this point. They know I always have some kind of side hustle, side gig going on. So, but as far as like my family, and I think they're accustomed. My brother, he's like, I don't know when you haven't had some kind of side hustle. So, but yeah, I mean, they're supportive. They know that we're always thinking outside of the box, looking to become independent and support ourselves independently. So definitely the support has been there. Every now and then you have people who they're naysayers. They do it jokingly or whatnot, and you just shrug it off and keep it moving. And they see when we reach different levels of success, right. And we let that tell itself.
So when we talk about that and we're speaking about those different levels of success, do you guys foresee coming into a different business, a different entrepreneurial business, doing books? We were doing books, and now we're into selling RVs, or now we're into doing homemade furniture stuff. Are y'all visioning yourself going outside of publishing books, or are y'all going to stick with books for the next few years?
So it's funny that you mentioned furniture. Right? There was a point where I was I was making furniture. I was at a side gig. But yeah, there was a point when I was doing that. But things do evolve over time. It's just like we started out with, this was our first word search book.
Right.
And at the time we didn't know it would grow to us having, multiple word search books. And then it went from the word search books to the art. And then art and the journals. So who knows? We might have another idea in a couple of months, and we'll add to our current offerings. Like I said, we're always looking to expand our sales channels, so that way you can have different revenues and streams of income. Because if one turns off, you want to make sure you got something else going.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man, that's amazing. So, do you yourselves do any mentoring for those who are looking to get going? Will you be a mentor for a young lady who says, Mr. Denise, could you help me? Could you mentor me? I have a great idea for a book, and I just need someone who knows what they're doing to guide me through that.
So we're most definitely open to mentoring and giving back. I think it's always, as you climb higher, you always have to reach back and help somebody else. I think I'm most definitely open to, sharing whatever I know and helping them along their way.
Okay.
And there have been times when people will say, "Hey, I see you doing this," and be like, "Yeah, just give me a call or shoot me an email." And for those that do reach out, I'll do what I can to help. But I'm definitely open to having a formal process like a mentorship or whatever to help others, reach their goals.
Okay. All right. You mentioned that we both got our 9 to 5s. Do you foresee in the foreseeable future where you may end up shifting from that 9 to 5 and you writing every day is going to become your 9 to 5 and y'all are putting out multiple books a week, a month, or however many it's going to come?
I mean, that's always the dream or always the goal. Hopefully, most definitely, we can get to the point where this could be a full-time business, because we really enjoy working on our products. They're a passion project for us. And it's something that we can do together. And it's something we can do anywhere in the world, right?
Okay.
Because it's e-commerce. We use computers and technology, and we do not have to carry inventory necessarily. So it's given us a lot of flexibility.
Right.
So if we could do that full time, that would be the jam.
So let me ask you this. You've been right now going on 5 years. Have y'all ever experienced writer's block?
Writer's block, I have a couple of times. So I wanted to do a Rocket City word search book at one time. I remember thinking about it a couple of years ago, but I just couldn't wrap my mind around it at the time. And then I kept trying to research it and figure it out, but it just wasn't coming together for me. And then I'm not even sure, maybe 6 months or a year ago, I was like, duh, it all just fell in place for me. So I think for me, if I'm not feeling something, I try not to push through it. I try to step away from it and try to come back, because I think it's more when it's more organic and more natural, it just comes out a little better.
Okay. All right. I love that. Hey guys, I'll tell you what. I truly appreciate y'all guys coming in here tonight and sharing this with us and sharing it with the viewers as well. I think what you guys are doing is phenomenal and targeting our culture and writing books for our culture so they have a better understanding. And like they always say, reading is fundamental. The more that they can get out of this, that's going to help them. I think it's going to do a world of good. And of course, ultimately, it's going to do you guys a world of good as well, right? And it's definitely motivating. And y'all got my wheels turning. You got my wheels turning. That I think I'm going to have to do that. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and write that book.
I think you should do it. I think you should do it. You got my support.
I got your support. Hey, I appreciate that. Anything that you'd like to say before we close?
If you have an idea or a dream, there's always a way to get it done. Just do research, reach out to your social circles, look for a mentor, get some guidance. And then the biggest thing is starting.
Right.
A lot of times people come up with ideas and it's something that other people do. Denise and I talk about that all the time, things that other people do. Well, you can do it too. You just have to just like you just put one foot in front of the other and go.
Right.
And I would say 2 things: keep your overhead low. Try not to invest a lot of money in a lot of things that don't necessarily matter. I think the most important thing is that you have a good, strong, viable product that that people want, right? And then the second thing is it does not have to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress, and it holds so many people up because we're concerned about does it look just so, or it could have been better, or it could have been different. It doesn't matter. Get started, and you will learn along the way.
And you can always make adjustments as you go.
Yeah.
So if you need to go back and tweak something, you can, but go.
Right. Well, I tell you what, talk about making a product that somebody wants. If I start to talk about that one night in Bangkok, where everybody's going to be like, what? That's another story. Hey, folks, we appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight and spending time with us. And always remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Good night.